So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen Sayyidina Muhammadin wa sahbihi ajma'een. We are, Alhamdulillah, discussing today principle number 8 from the book of Hafiz ibn Hibban, rahimahullah ta'ala, Raudhatul Uqala wa Nuzhatul Fudala, wherein he mentions 50 principles, 50 lessons of how a person could gain success and progress in their life as servants of Allah and overall live a happy life of success, inshallah. We have covered so far 7 principles, first of which was to do with correct intention and correction of the heart. The first one was to do with what intelligence is, what wisdom is. Second one was to do with the rectification of the heart. The third one following on today was the importance of remaining a lifelong learner. The next one after that, the fourth one, was the importance of using words intelligently. The fifth principle after that was honesty and integrity, followed by the sixth principle, which was modesty and the importance of haya. Then principle number 7 was the importance or the role of humility and the dangers of vanity. Today, inshallah, we cover principle number 8 in this book of Raudhatul Uqala wa Nuzhatul Fudala, which is endearing. The topic, Hafiz ibn Hibban starts the chapter, he starts with this heading, endearing yourself to others without committing sin. Endearing, at-tahabbub, at-tawaddud ila nas. That an intelligent person, a smart person, a person who wants to get ahead in life in terms of his deen, dunya, qabr and akhirah, is someone who learns to get along with others, and not only that, learns to endear himself to others in such a way that he does not commit sin. And people like this person, they have good thoughts of this person, and they have good feelings about this person. And this is from the qualities of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which are encouraged in the hadith. And as you know, Hafiz ibn Hibban rahimahullah always starts every chapter with a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in this particular one, he began with this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yahrumu ala an-nari kullu hayyinin layyinin qareebin sahlin." That the fire of Jahannam is prohibited for every person who is hayyin. Hayyin, the meaning of hayyin is that person has waqar, that person is dignified. Hayyin, وَيَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the servants of the Rahman in the Quran, they walk on the earth with dignity, with waqar, with honor. So they are honorable people. So any honorable person will be, any noble person, the fire of Jahannam will be haram on that person. The next quality is layyin, that this person is lenient. Layyin, the Arabic word is layyin, lenient and tolerant with others. They tolerant with others. The next one is qareebin, that they are qareeb, they are close to the hearts of the people. And the next one is sahlin, that they are easygoing. And this reminds us of a hadith, another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam specifically speaks about a mu'min. Al-Nabi alayhi salam says, "Al-mu'minu ghirrun kareem," that the mu'min is simple and noble. Simple and noble. Wal fajiru khabbun la'im, and the transgressor, the fajir, the sinner, is deceitful and ignoble, right? Deceitful and ignoble. So this aspect of endearing ourselves to others by having good akhlaq, good character, good manners, good etiquettes, always displaying the best akhlaq towards people, pleasant smile, pleasant behavior, helping people, always being there, always trying your best to make people feel comfortable, including people, being of assistance, always being, mashallah, the person who is there, who is trying to make a difference to make an impact with a difference for the betterment of those around them. That person who's thinking about the next person. This is a life of a mu'min. This is the quality of a mu'min. But now, brothers and sisters, this should not mean that the mu'min is downtrodden, that everyone takes advantage of this mu'min and, makes them do work for them, and everyone is rude to him, and everyone is, harsh on them, and everyone takes advantage of them. No. This actually, in fact, is the believer who has faith in the promises of Allah and knows that if I'm going to serve the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is going to give me a reward for it. If if someone is going to make zulam on me, someone is going to transgress against me, someone is going to oppress me, then I believe in the promises of Allah that this life is temporary. That whatever difficulties I will go through, Allah will give me a full ajr and reward in the eternal life to come hereafter. And if anyone has taken advantage of me, that person will have to answer to Allah for their own deeds, and I will not have to answer for that. That is something they will answer for. And they do not get, that does not change them. Allahu Akbar. That does not change their attitude towards people. So no matter how people treat them, or how, how rude people are to them, or how uncourteous people are to them, how impolite people are to them, when their attitude and their mindset is that whenever they interact with anyone, whenever they come into any engagement with any person, family members, parents, brothers, sisters, community members, colleagues at work, fellow students, classmates, fellow people living in the house, extended family, whenever they find themselves in a situation where they are interacting with others, their mindset is that how can I display the best akhlaq, my best character, my best manners and etiquettes towards this person. And when a person does this, inshallah, that will be the first cause of that person becoming endeared and beloved in the hearts and minds of the people. And this is a quality of an intelligent and wise person. Allahu Akbar. Hafiz ibn Hibban mentions. We move on to the virtues, brothers and sisters, of this quality of at-tawaddud ila nas, or at-tahabbub ila nas, endearing yourself towards the people. And of course, this is done through akhlaq, through good character. Now, let us understand good character. In fact, Rasulullah has himself put it beautifully, and he says in the hadith of Tirmidhi, he says that أكثر ما يدخل الناس الجنة, that the most common reason that people will enter Jannah is taqwa Allah wa husnul khulq. Two things that people will enter, that the two most common reasons that people will enter Jannah will be because of the consciousness and awareness of Allah, and number two, because of good manners, good character with others. Allahu Akbar. This is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he goes on to explain, Hafiz ibn Hibban, that the benefits of an amiable character. An amiable means a character, a person who is easygoing, has a good temperament, doesn't get angry quickly, has tolerance for others, is helpful, is compassionate, is soft-hearted, is gives, overlooks the faults of others, smiles at others. This is all comes in the akhlaq of good character. Hafiz ibn Hibban rahimahullah mentions here that if somebody can master this, just having this mindset of how I can present myself to people with the best akhlaq, then he says that the fasiq can lead a fulfilling life. And that fasiq, if he has good character, that fasiq can find Allah through his character. Fasiq is a sinner, right? He says if a fasiq, he says husnul khulq, I'll just read that. إن الفاسق إذا كان حسن الخلق عاش بعقله وخف على الناس وأحبوه. That the fasiq is such. The fasiq is such that if he lives with good character and through his wisdom and intelligence, he treats people well, even though he might be a little bit sinful, he might be making some mistakes in his life, might be breaking some commandments of Allah, but because of his intelligence, he treats people well. Then وَأَحَبُّ, people will love him for that, and through that he will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through that he will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِنَّ الْعَابِدِ, as for the worshipper who is involved in worship, very strenuous worship of Allah all the time, doing lots and lots of good deeds, but that one, he's got kana sayyul khuluq, he has bad character, bad akhlaq, then he says for him taqala ala nas, that he lives amongst people, but people find his presence to be weighty. They don't enjoy, they find him to be a burden. And wamaqatuh, and they develop a distaste for him. They don't like this person, and through that the person loses half the objective of their life. And what is this half objective, brothers and sisters? You might think that an abid, someone who's worshipping Allah all the time, if he doesn't have good character, how is he losing 50% of his objective of his life? Yes, he's losing it like this, because 50% of our life's objective is the worship of Allah, which is huququllah, and the other 50% of our life is huququl ibad, the rights of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if a person does not develop good manners, good etiquette, good akhlaq, in the manner of speech, in the manner, the way they carry themselves, the way they help others, the way they, try to adopt the akhlaq of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then that person basically is not fulfilling half of the iman, half of the Islam's requirements, which is the creation of Allah, the huququllah, the service of the creation of Allah, khidmatul khalq as they call it. That person is failing in that regard. So the benefits of good akhlaq protect a person, and even if a person makes some mistakes and they overlook and they disobey Allah in some of their mistakes between themselves and between Allah, inshallah it is hoped that through their good character, through their good akhlaq, that understanding will come, that they will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will make up with Allah as well, and inshallah they will reach their destination as complete mu'mins and complete believers, fulfilling the huququllah and huququl ibad. Hafiz ibn Hibban rahimahullah then brings a beautiful poem, and this poem speaks about that endearing yourself to others, or endearing yourself to others is half of intelligence. And he says, he quotes from Maymun bin Mahran, who says, At-tawaddudu ila nas nisful aql, that endearing yourself towards the people, becoming beloved in the hearts of people, is half of intelligence. Wa husnul mas'alati nisful ilm, and asking good questions is half of knowledge. Asking a good question is half of knowledge. And spending moderately is half of ma'una, is half of your budget. Meaning you will not suffer poverty or difficulty if you know how to spend moderately, and you spend with good measure. Now, of course, to become beloved to the hearts of people, brothers and sisters, a person can't fake good akhlaq. You might be able to fake good akhlaq once, good akhlaq twice, but in fact, to fake good akhlaq every time you meet someone is very difficult, because it takes energy. How can a person cannot keep that up as a way of life? You can't keep on faking it. So especially if you don't have the right purpose, if you're doing it only to make somebody happy, then how long will you do it? If the person keeps on, the person is continuously rude to you, or the person, is dismissive of you, or the person, makes zulam on some aspects of your life, how long will you show that good akhlaq if you are not truly doing it for yourself and for your Allah? Therefore, we of course are speaking about, Hafiz ibn Hibban is speaking about that if the purpose is to reach Allah and to prepare yourself for yourself a good and easy life in this year, in a good and easy life in this world, and a comfortable Jannah in the hereafter, then the intention should be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that purpose will keep you going and keep you doing the right thing. And it can't be faked, right? It is only sustainable if it is done with the right reasons, and that is how a person will then be able to do it. And that is half of intelligence. And then he mentions that poem. He says, the good etiquette is the door to opportunity, right? It's a door to opportunity. He says, لِلْخَيْرِ أَهْلًا لَا تَزَالُ وُجُوهَهُمْ تَدْعُو إِلَيْهِمْ. That goodness for the people, لِلْخَيْرِ أَهْلٌ, they are people of good, that you can see from their faces call to good. طُوبَى لِمَنْ جَرَتِ الْأُمُورِ الصَّالِحَاتِ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. Glad tidings, good news be for those who continuously do good deeds, and whenever they do works, they are doing good things in their life. MashaAllah, good things only come out from them. This is a good glad tidings for them. مَا لَمْ يَضِقْ خُلُقُ الْفَتَى فَالْأَرْضُ وَاسِعَةٌ عَلَيْهِ. And he ties it up to this last misra and this last stanza, which says, مَا لَمْ يَضِقْ خُلُقُ الْفَتَى. As long as a young man's character, manners and etiquettes are good, and they know how to respect, how to speak nicely, فَالْأَرْضُ وَاسِعَةٌ عَلَيْهِ. Then the earth is wide open to them. Meaning the opportunities to do good, the opportunities to progress, the doors of opportunity from deen, dunya will be open from so many different ways. And of course, brothers and sisters, this is quite evident. As soon as someone has bad character, bad akhlaq, and we have a bad interaction with that person, and we have a negative interaction with them, immediately we come on our guard. And the next time we have to interact with them, we fall back on our previous interaction with them. Okay, this was our last experience with this person, so now we will deal accordingly. If we have to deal, if we don't have to deal, then we'll even cut our ties and move on because of the bad character of that person. And if there is some opportunity that comes up to do something for somebody, or to, your mind will always go to those people who have been kind to you, those people who have shown you good character, those people who have joined ties with you, those people who have been, close to your heart. Those are the people you yourself like to do things for. So this is the nature of life. مَا لَمْ يَضِقْ خُلُقُ الْفَتَى. As long as the young man, he says, as long as the young man's character is stable, is good, فَالْأَرْضُ وَاسِعَةٌ عَلَيْهِ. Then the earth, as we say, the sky is the limit. He's saying, فَالْأَرْضُ وَاسِعَةٌ عَلَيْهِ. The earth is spread open for this person. The doors of opportunity will remain open for this person. There is another beautiful aspect that we need to understand, brothers and sisters, and that is that good akhlaq is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tawus rahimahullah used to say that, inna hadhihi al-akhlaq mawahib, that this character, this good character, good manners are gifts from Allah, are gifted from Allah. And فَإِذَا أَحَبَّ اللَّهُ عَبْدَهُ, when Allah loves somebody, Allah grants him good character, good manners. And this is something we should actually make dua for. We should ask Allah to grant us good character, because character is something that we have to learn, we have to practice, we have to earn, and we have to make dua. It's something we have to work towards, and it's something that Allah gives us. And it's not something that just comes easily. It's not just something, it's not just in one salam or one smile. No, it's a way of life. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to actually make dua for this. There's a famous dua of his. If you can remember it now, very good. If not, you can, inshallah, refer to it back on the YouTube, inshallah, recording. And that dua is, Allahumma hdini li ahsani al-a'mali wal akhlaq. La yahdi li ahsanihima illa ant. Wasrif anni sayyi'ahuma. La yasrif anni sayyi'ahuma illa ant. I will give you the translation of this. Allahumma hdini li ahsani al-a'mali wal akhlaq. Oh Allah, guide me. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying, oh Allah, guide me to the best actions and the best character. La yahdi li ahsanihima illa. You are the only one who can give me this guidance, who can guide me towards this best, good character, pleasant nature. Wasrif anni sayyi'ahuma, and remove from me, O Allah, the wicked ways of wicked actions and bad character, because you are the only one. La yasrifu anni sayyi'ahuma illa ant. And you are the only one who can remove these bad characters and bad habits away and bad manners away from me. So we understand from this, brothers and sisters, that it takes effort to learn akhlaq, good akhlaq, and it's something that Allah gives and something we need to make dua for, that Allah is the one who guides towards good character and a person grows upon that. Also, we should have a positive mindset regarding this. And this brings me to an aspect which Hafiz ibn Hibban brings on towards the end of this chapter, which I brought under the virtues. He says that Mujahid mentions that he told somebody that when a Muslim meets another Muslim and they shake hands and they smile at each other, their sins fall off. Their sins fall off as leaves fall off a tree. And of course, this is the athar from the tabi'een, and this is something which is also supported from the ahadith regarding sins falling off when two Muslims greet each other for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nevertheless, the person told Mujahid when he heard this, he said, Inna hadha min amalil yasir. Mujahid, this what you mentioned is a very easy thing, to go and greet someone and smile and get your sins forgiven. So Mujahid said, is it really? Is it really so easy? هو الذي أيدك بنصره وبالمؤمنين وألف بين قلوبهم. And then he recited these ayahs. وألف بين قلوبهم. Allah is the one who joined your hearts in love and understanding and muhabba. لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا. If you had to spend the whole world and whatever it contains, you would never have been able to bring their hearts together. But Allah, وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ أَلَّفَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah is the one who brought their hearts together. He is the mighty, He is the wise. أَفَيَسِيرٌ هَذَا. He asks us, is this easy? Allah is saying you could spend the whole world, you would not be able to create love between two people. So by showing good akhlaq repeatedly, making effort on it, this is what then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the barakah in there, and Allah draws hearts together, and Allah endears that person towards others as well. Moving on to the warnings that Hafiz ibn Hibban mentions, he speaks about the aspect of bad character, that bad character spoils everything. And he brings an example. He says, like honey. Honey is such a beautiful thing, such a sweet commodity. By nature, it is so sweet and so enjoyable, and so it has a beautiful smell, beautiful taste. It looks lovely, but it takes one drop of vinegar to spoil the whole honey. Why? Because although the honey is so beautiful and so pure and so authentic, but vinegar by nature is so potent and so concentrated that even a few drops can spoil something like honey. And he mentions that innal khulq as-sayyi la yufsidu al-amal, that no matter how many good actions a person might have, If a person doesn't know how to speak nicely to people, how to, be kind, be considerate of others, and speak nicely, and have tolerance with others, then that person destroys all their actions. It spoils everything. It spoils the relationship. It spoils the actions. Because really, we know the hadith, and the hadith supports this point beautifully. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked the Sahaba, who is the uh, bankrupt person? So they said, the bankrupt person is the one who doesn't have any money, as we know. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, no, al-muflis, the true bankrupt person is the one who will come on the day of Qiyamah, will have a lot of salah, a lot of zakat, a lot of sadaqah, a lot of hajj, a lot of good deeds on his back, and he will be coming expecting Jannah. And then somebody will come, a plaintiff will bring a complaint to Allah and say, oh Allah, this person in the life of this world swore me. Sabbani, he swore me once. Allah will say, okay, there's no money here. You give him, now you deal in deeds. Give the good deeds. That's why the brother will run away from the mother, and the son will run away from the mother, brother will run away from the sister, and the parents will run away from the children because of this. No one will want to part with their good deeds, because that's the wealth of the day. Nevertheless, Allah says, if he swore you, okay, now I will make adl and I will make justice, because there is no injustice today. Take the good deeds in regard to what he did. Then another will come, oh Allah, this person took from me unjustly. Another will come, oh Allah, this person accused me. Oh Allah, this person did this. Oh Allah, this person did that. Until all his good deeds will be emptied, and there will still be a line of people there to claim because of bad character this person treated them with in this world. There will be no good deeds to give this person. This person will be given them their bad deeds, the bad deeds of these people. And the hadith mentions he will be then taken, and that same person who came expecting Jannah, that same person will be taken and flung into the fire of Jahannam. This is the position of character, brothers and sisters, in Islam, that it protects all our other deeds. It protects all our other deeds. And bad character spoils everything. May Allah protect us. Hafiz ibn Hibban brings a beautiful poem. I'll just narrate it and move on. He says, don't be a pain. He says, خَالِقِ النَّاسِ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. Treat people, engage with them nicely. لَا تَكُنْ كَلْبًا عَلَى النَّاسِ يَهِرْ. Don't be a dog barking at them all the time. وَالْقِهِمْ مِنْكَ بِبِشْرٍ. Meet them with a smile, pleasantly. ثُمَّ صُنْ عَنْهُمْ عِرْضَكَ عَنْ كُلِّ قَدِرِ. Then safeguard them from whatever weaknesses and mistakes you have in your life. Meaning only treat people with your best side. Show your best attitude and your best akhlaq to them. And then he moves on and he speaks about how unpleasant manners push even our near and dear ones away from us. That if a person has bad character, and they are no fun to be around. That even sometimes when the child walks into the house or the father walks into the house, that's the time when everyone is supposed to be, mashallah, happy. Their smiles are supposed to light up. Their eyes are supposed to, shine. And they are supposed to be happy and waiting that father is here. Now we're going to joke. We're going to laugh. There's going to be laughter in the house. And now when the father walks in, now there's only shouting and screaming and very harsh, of course, it is part of Islam that, we train and make tarbiyah of our children, but we're talking about good character, good akhlaq here. That sometimes the husband and wife, because of bad character, everything else is, mashallah, beautiful in their lives. They have families together. They, mashallah, have a few, they have children together, and there's no other problems, but just on the aspect of akhlaq, when it comes to their character with each other, how they speak to each other, or how they treat each other sometimes. These are those aspects which leave a bad taste. And subhanAllah, if we fix those aspects up in our lives, our homes, wallahi al-azim, brothers and sisters, forget outside, we will endear ourselves to those closest to us. We will endear ourselves to our wives, our husbands, our children, and our homes will become Jannah. Our homes will become Jannah in this world. That when the father sees the son, his heart is filled with happiness and coolness. When the wife sets the eyes on the husband, her heart is filled with respect and awe and love for her husband. When the husband sees the wife, his heart is filled with compassion and love for his wife, because of the good manners and good etiquette and good akhlaq that they show to each other all the time. And Hafiz ibn Hibban speaks about this aspect here, about how good manners sow the seeds of endearing others, and how bad etiquettes sow the seeds of enmity. He says, Husnul khulq, good character, is the seed to gaining iktisabul mahabba, of drawing love. Kama anna su'al khulq, like bad character is a seed, istijlabul bighd, which draws out enmity and hatred. ومن حسن الخلق ومن حسن خلقه صان عرضه, and whose character is good, that person has safeguarded their honor and their self-respect. And the one who has bad character has wasted their character, has wasted their honor. And we were speaking about this the other day with the students as well, that if we want others to respect us, if we want others to take us seriously, to honor us, we have to respect ourselves first. We have to we have to conduct ourselves in a respectable way, and have good akhlaq without acting foolishly. If we act foolish, then people will treat us foolishly as well. People will look at us and consider us fools. That's why, if you remember, brothers and sisters, I'll just take you back here. What's the heading? Endearing yourself to others without committing sin. This is an important point. Hafiz ibn Hibban mentions that you should not end up making a fool out of yourself just so you can make others laugh, or make lies just so you can seem to be someone you're not, so you can attract attention to yourself and people can like you for that. This is not what he's speaking about. He's saying endear yourselves just purely through your character and your akhlaq, without doing anything wrong to do so. So that aspect of good etiquettes and bad manners, which sow the seed of enmity and sow the seed of good manners, which sow the seed of love. Then he brings a dua. He mentions the dua of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Very interesting dua I want to share with you as well. That if somebody is treating another person bad, rude behavior and very harsh and very rough, and perhaps malicious, treating them maliciously, and backbiting them, and causing problems for them, then what should be our attitude towards them? What is good akhlaq towards that person? He says, Allahumma aghfir. He said he used to make a dua for such people. He used to say, Allahumma aghfir lana wa lahu. Allahumma aghfir lana wa lahu. Oh Allah, forgive us and forgive them. Wa arihna minhu fi afiyah. And oh Allah, give us ease and comfort by keeping us safe from them. Allahumma aghfir lana wa lahu. Oh Allah, forgive us and forgive them. Wa arihna minhu fi afiyah. And grant us ease by keeping us safe from them. Allahu Akbar. What a beautiful dua. What a beautiful. Allahumma aghfir lana wa lahu wa arihna minhu fi afiyah. Oh Allah, forgive us and forgive them, and grant us ease and comfort by keeping us safe from their bad habits, from their bad akhlaq, from their bad manners and etiquettes. Keep us safe from that and grant us ease through that safety. Allahu Akbar. May Allah grant us understanding. We come on to the last aspect, brothers and sisters, which is the aspects of the guidance which Hafiz ibn Hibban, alhamdulillah, always fills every chapter with, of how a person can now inculcate or learn this quality or this character, this lesson and this principle, which will, together with the other principles, make this person a wise man, make them intelligent, make them achieve in life, make them successful, make them move forward and progress and achieve as well for the akhirah, firstly, and of course the world is just the bonus. He says, the first thing to remember is that there are two things that make a person endeared to the hearts of people. And he quotes a quote of Ibn al-Mubarak rahimahullah ta'ala. Ibn al-Mubarak was a great Abdullah bin Mubarak was a great tabi'i, or tabi'i, if I can remember correctly. 6 months of the year he used to spend in the path of Allah, and 6 months of the year he used to spend in the haram of Makkah making ibadah. 6 months. This is how he split his life. And he was a great alim, great faqih, great wali of Allah. And he used to, there's lots of sayings of him, and a lot of people benefited from him. So he was asked, what is husnul khuluq? Su'ila Ibn al-Mubarak an husnul khuluq. Oh Ibn al-Mubarak, what is good character? He said, huwa bastul wajh wa badlul ma'roof. That it is the smiling of the face and spending of good. So these are the two aspects mentioned. The two aspects of attracting the love of and endearing yourself to others. The first is to whatever Allah has granted you, from the good Allah has granted you of this world, this temporary world, whatever wealth, whatever you can share from there. Ahsin kama ahsan Allahu ilayk. If you can share from what Allah has given you, share. Whatever Allah has given you, share with your brother at home, share with your sister, share with your parents, share with your friends, share with the community, share with those in need, share. And when anytime you can do something for somebody else, do it for them. Whether physically, whether through monetary, wherever you can do something for someone, do it for them. Look for opportunities to do some good work, some good deeds for someone else, helping them out whenever they need help or whatever. That's number one. If you can't do that, number two, that Islam is so beautiful, it doesn't leave anybody out or hanging. If you are not in a position of helping for some reason, you are not capable, you don't have the means, you are not strong enough, or whatever reason there is, you can't physically do something, you can't share with your wealth, then have good character. Smile, have a pleasant temperament, treat people nicely. This is an excellent substitute. He brings a quote of a poem and he says, Hafiz ala khuluqil jamili wa murbihi. Hold steadfast on good, beautiful character and command others to do so. Ma bil jamili wa bil qabihi khafa'u. There is no difference. I mean, what is beautiful and what is wicked is quite apparent. It's not hidden. In daqa maluka an sadiqika fa'alqih. If your wealth has run out and you can't assist your friend with some wealth, falqihi bil bishri minka idha hina liqa'u. Then when you meet him with a beautiful smile and make dua for him. May Allah make it easy for you. May Allah grant you ease. May Allah open your way. May Allah take you out from this difficulty as quickly as possible. Share good words. Tibul kalam. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, what is Hajj? Hajjul Mabrur is to feed people food and speak nicely to people. Allahu Akbar. How underrated and undervalued this aspect of Islam is, of good akhlaq, of speaking nicely to people and having good character. May Allah keep it in our lives, inshallah, and grant us that understanding of it. I move on very quickly to the positive mindset. And Hafiz ibn Hibban brings this and he says, endearing ourselves to those around us it's number one, it's the easiest manner of being in ibadah. What does this mean? As a mindset, if you and I, brothers and sisters, as a mindset, say from today onwards, inshallah, wherever I can help someone, wherever I can say a good word, wherever I can do something nicely, easily, smile at someone at home, outside, if someone says something, I'm going to do it in that way. This is the easiest way for a person to be engaged in ibadah. most of the time. That for the pleasure of Allah, I'm going to treat people nicely. And we are always interacting with others. We are always interacting with others. And if I'm interacting in a nice way, with the right intention, which I made now, that mindset, Ya Allah, anyone I'm going to meet now, I'm going to try to speak nicely to them, treat them nicely, help them if I can, be more tolerant, more compassionate. That's the easiest way for sincere ibadah, prolonged ibadah. Number two, it's the easiest way to keep a smiling and pleasant face. Sometimes our mood is down, sometimes we don't feel, but if that mindset is there, no, I need to be nice to other people. That will itself be in itself, it will be a motivation for us, a motivating factor to keep us happy. Why? Because I have to treat others nicely, and I should bring happiness to other people's hearts. Number three, it's the simplest way of keeping things balanced, and it helps avoid extremities. When a person loses good akhlaq, extremities come in their life. Very easy. It's the number four, most effective and lenient way and method of instructing. If you are teaching students, you are instructing your children, you are advising your husband or your wife, if you do it from the mindset of good akhlaq, it will be the most effective and it will come across most beautifully. And you know the story. I'm not going to tell you the story, but you know the story of that young man who came and urinated in the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke to him. You know of that story of that young man who came and told Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Oh Muhammad, oh Nabi of Allah, please give me permission to commit zina." And how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke to him. That mindset of good akhlaq changes the hearts of people, and it brings the most effective way of guiding and instructing. Number five, it's the most generous way of being helpful. Number six, it's the most effortless way to be tolerant. Now, if you're telling me to be tolerant, and I have to be tolerant with my child who's, annoying me and annoying me and annoying me and annoying me, I will lose my patience. But if my mindset is that I have to teach good akhlaq to my child also, my son is watching me. So the more they annoy me, how can I show them through good akhlaq that they need to stop what they're doing, and how can I work with this? So that positive mindset sets the tone of our life, brothers and sisters. Let us, inshallah, take this teaching and this principle tonight and make it a structure of our lives. I'm conscious that it's 9:03. I have 3 more points left. Inshallah, I'll ask you just to bear with me, inshallah. Good manners is the pathway to people's heart. Hafiz ibn Hibban, rahimahullah, mentions in this beautiful book, he says, لِأَنَّ مَنْ جَعَلَ رِضَاهُ تَبْعًا لِرِضَى النَّاسِ. The one who makes the happiness of the people, his happiness subjected to the happiness of the people. Meaning, what makes the people happy, that's what he tries to do. وَعَاشَرَهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ هُمْ. And he treats them according to how they want to be treated. إِسْتَحَقَّ الْكَمَالَ بِالسُّؤْدَدِ. This is that intelligence. Remember he said earlier, it's half of wisdom. Mihran bin Maymun, rahimahullah, said, good character is half of intelligence. And how is it half of intelligence? Here, Hafiz ibn Hibban is saying that the one who bases his happiness on the happiness of his wife, that I want to see how my wife is happy, bases his happiness on the happiness of his children, bases his happiness on the happiness of his parents, bases his happiness on the happiness of his workers, bases his happiness on the happiness of what his boss is looking for, bases his happiness on the happiness of the people around him. Of course, this is all based on what is acceptable in Sharia and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and doesn't in no way break the commandments of Allah. But if a person leads their life like this, where those around them are happy, and he treats them like how they want to be treated, إِسْتَحَقَّ الْكَمَالَ بِالسُّؤْدَدِ. That person will own their hearts. That person will be able to lead them. He will be in control of their lives, because of the way he influences them. The way he treats them. Allahu Akbar. Of course, if he's got good akhlaq, then he won't manipulate the situation, and his good akhlaq will carry him to do good work with that as well. If he has the hearts of the people, and he's got the influence over his family, over his wife and his children, over and his parents love him for it, and so he will use all of that positive energy in a good way for further taking the work of Islam and Deen forward, and further benefiting himself for his dunya and akhirah. Allahu Akbar. This is that intelligence. He goes on to say that it's the optimum dynamic when a person he says there's two ways. He says, Hajatul mar'i ila nas, to need someone because you love that person is better. To need someone because you love that person is better than being independent from him, even if you know that that person hates you. So you can treat people so nice in such a way, treat them nicely that they love you, and hajatul mar'i ila nas, and that you need them and they need you. This is better. This dynamic is better than being independent from people. Say, I don't need you, you don't need me, you lead your life, I lead my life, I have nothing to do with you, you have nothing to do with me. And I don't want to give you favors, and I don't want to take any favors from you, and I don't care if you hate me, and I'm independent of you. He says that's not the optimum dynamic. If you want to really progress in life, learn the optimum dynamic, and that is to endear the love of people, the love in the hearts of people through good character. You'll be able to do much more in life, and you'll have a much more fulfilling and holistic life than living in a shell or living away from people, even though you might be independent, and even though you might not need them. But you're living, that's not optimum. You're living with some gaps in your life. May Allah grant us the understanding of this, subhanallah. He brings 2 points. He said 2 ways of winning, 2 things that win the hearts of people. And I mentioned it earlier. One is to spend on them from that which Allah has blessed you with, from the items of the world. And number 2, to tolerate their weaknesses and mistakes. Allahu Akbar. 2 ways to win the hearts of people. Al-badlu lahum mimma yamliku al-mar'u min hutami hadi dunya, to spend on them from which Allah has blessed you from the temporary items of this world. This is the words he used. Hutami hadi dunya, from the temporary aspects or temporary items of this world, to share with them. And وَإِحْتِمَالِهِ عَنْهُمْ مَا يَكُونُ مِنْهُمْ مِنَ الْأَذَى, and to tolerate their weaknesses and mistakes. When a husband overlooks the weaknesses and mistakes of his wife, and the wife overlooks the mistakes of the husband, and the parents do that for the children, and the friend does it for the friend, and the son-in-law does it for the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law does it for the daughter-in-law, then subhanallah, there will be love and understanding. There was one more point, but inshallah khair, I think this is good enough for us, inshallah, to conclude on this point. That the last point is here, that we need to educate ourselves and educate our children on the social and cultural practices of others. This is also part of his guidance, that if, especially living in this country where we are so multicultural, we need to learn the ways and habits of each other, so that this also is part of akhlaq, that when we interact with each other, we learn that in this culture, this is regarded to be important, value. This is offensive. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do that. So this is part of having good akhlaq and joining good ties with others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن ذَكَرٍ وَأُنثَى, we have made you male and female. Why? لِتَعَارَفُوا, so that you may recognize each other, work along with each other, and create bonds with each other. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq of developing good akhlaq and bringing alive this aspect. Wallahi al-Azim, brothers and sisters, if we can set our mindset, this positive mindset, and set the tone of our life that I am going to work upon my akhlaq, my character, pleasant, good temperament. I'm going to train myself, because sometimes by nature, some people by nature, by temperament, tend to get angry more quickly. Some have, less patience. Some, perhaps are more used to using harsh words when they get angry. Others, we all have different weaknesses that we need to work on. But akhlaq is that aspect that will help us. And if we have that mindset that I need to work on it, and not only work on it, but knowing that if I change my attitude and my mindset, I'm only going to grow and flourish and be successful with my relationships, with Allah, with my akhirah, at my workplace, with those around me, and my life generally. As Hafiz ibn Hibban has mentioned, these 50 principles, inshallah, will only bring more luster and more, mashallah, positivity into our lives. May Allah grant us tawfiq. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Brothers and sisters, you